Hey, what up? This is Solo Traveler ORD, and thanks again for checking out another one of my videos. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell while you are here, and I appreciate the support. I'm back with another video review. This time, I'm doing another one on skrxlla-yea-yea-yea. You guys know that she has a lot of banger videos that she released. This time, she's talking about the passport bros again, and she's referencing the corny guy. So with that being said, she was going in depth as to why these guys, supposedly corny guys, are actually getting their passports and going to other countries, or even going sysbm. So she has a really good video on this. Basically, let's go over it. Let's take a look and see exactly what she said.
So the lame or corny black man has been a popular topic of discussion since the viral video of Michael B. Jordan and his previous classmate. Really what I think that interview exposed was how so often the good black men, the lame black men, aka the men who are studying, working hard, trying to get good grades, and trying to live a productive life, are usually looked over or considered corny when they are actually trying to build their life and build.
Which is true, you know, which is kind of interesting. It's just interesting to find out that a lot of these brothers that are very smart and talented, especially in academics, a lot of times women, well, a lot of times these brothers, they will have to change themselves just to be with another, say, a black woman or so, because of the culture. So a lot of times these brothers, these guys that are looking for a mate, a lot of times these women will show up at the end, at the finish line of when they see that he actually has some type of resources. That's when they want to, you know, kick it with him. And at that point, that's when they're like, man, you know what? Nah, this don't feel right. So that's usually what happens.
With their careers. This happens so much in the black community. If you want to think about the 80-20 rule, oh no, it's true. I've talked to many men who maybe they're that guy in school who was focusing on getting good grades. Maybe they're honors class, maybe they're an AP class, maybe they were well studied, maybe they were responsible, and they were considered boring and lame.
Also, this affects the brothers that are like, basically my situation was that I was getting relationships, everything was good, but it was just the quality type of relationships that I was having. Basically the fact that, you know, this woman giving me what I'm looking for. You know, I'm looking for a traditional type of woman, and it's hard to find traditional type of woman out there. A lot of times they want to go half. They want you to go half on the work in the house, but they don't want to pay half of everything that goes on in the house. So it's kind of like, okay, so you want me to do half of all the chores and everything and still take care of all the bills. It kind of don't make any sense, but you know, it is what it is.
A certain archetype of men that is praised, that is celebrated, and in many times can do no wrong. And even if they do wrong, they're overlooked. Prime example, Derek Jackson, who is still getting support and still getting views and has not been canceled despite the fact that he's been shown to cheat on his wife multiple times. Nobody says anything about him. But the passport bros, on the other hand, oh, they get all kind of feedback. They get all kinds of shaming, insults, guilt, need to be right. Why?
Yeah, that's the thing. We get called everything. You know, whether you consider yourself a traveler, passport bro, or a blue book gentleman, they're pointing at all of us, talking about that we're, you know, saying that we're predators, and saying that we're lame, we can't get women in the States, and that we have to go to other countries, and that we're gonna get played. It's like, wait a minute, these women here in the States are playing men. So what's the difference? You know, so what are you talking about? You know, so, and a lot of times, a lot of us, we're able to get, we already had women, we already had kids and so forth. So we're not these incels that they try to portray us to be. So I just want to throw that out there.
Because these are the men that women were used to making fun of to begin with. These are the men that women were overlooking in school. These are the men that women felt comfortable teasing. And in my opinion, this dynamic continues even today. Corny or lame black man usually won't get any attention while he is building his career or building himself up. It's usually not until he gets a lot of resources or is found with a white woman that people have a lot to say. Recently, a video went viral of a young TikToker who was preparing food for her boyfriend. Now, she's not just any TikToker. She happens to be a contender on a cooking show and is actually a successful chef. But what was so interesting about this dynamic is how not only was she serving her boyfriend food, she loves doing it so much that she actually wrote a book about it.
Man, one of the best feelings ever is your woman cooking for you and serving you. I get that every day. I love it. I love it. It makes me do even more for my wife than anything else, because the fact that knowing that she's actually, taking the time out to do that for me and to take care of me, that makes men just want to go above and beyond, do whatever he can to take care of his wife.
You go throughout her TikTok, you see time and time and time again of her cooking for her boyfriend. She literally has a book dedicated to it. And why is she doing it? Because he's hungry. Now, this flies in the face of advice from influencers such as Stormy Wellington, who doesn't believe in doing anything domestic because it's not income producing activity.
Every woman deserves a housekeeper. Today we are interviewing a potential new housekeeper. One thing that I don't have time for is domestic stuff. I am busy changing the world, changing my life, changing my mind. So I don't have time to do things like wash clothes, wash the dishes, clean up the kitchen, clean up the bathroom, clean up.
Thinking about this, it's like, what's the point of even being with you? If I have to outsource the regular duties of, my wife or whatever, I might as well be with that woman. What's the point? So basically, you're paying, we're wasting money on these services when we could be doing this ourselves and saving that money doing other things. Unless it's just the fact that you want to be a go-getter, you want to go be like a man and do all that stuff. Well, once again, I might as well just be with the housekeeper. I might as well be with her. This is why men cheat on their wives with the housekeeper or with the babysitter, because of this reason. It's like, why am I going to be with you if this woman is doing the feminine stuff that we actually enjoy?
The living room, I don't have time for that. And so one of the things I want you ladies to think about in this new season is new rules. New rules meaning in this new season, I don't do things that is not income producing activity. Your time on doing things that bear fruit. And as you bear fruit, you use that fruit to feed others. What does that mean? Hire people.
And let's also point to another obvious fact. This girl cooking for her boyfriend is a white girl. I recently did a panel about this where I spoke to different men who were describing.
And it doesn't matter if it's white or just a foreign woman. A foreign woman, they do that. I'm saying most of them. Of course, you know that there are some bad apples out there that don't cook and so forth. We're talking about the ones in these countries that we like to go travel to, developing nations and so forth, that they have that in their culture. It's instilled in them to be a wife, to be a woman that will take care of their husband and the family.
Their experiences as supposedly lame or corny men when they were younger. And these men, many of them are now married. Some of them are married to Black women from other nations, from other ethnicities, and some of them are married to women outside of their race. But something I heard over and over again was that they simply settled down with women who respected and loved them. Some of them.
That goes a long way. A woman that respects a man, that right there is like, that's basically what most men look for, respect. Then love comes second or third or whatever. But just to have your wife respect you, that's like the highest honor to us.
Some even argued that they consistently found more love with women of other races. Do white women really treat Black men better? Do other races of women really treat Black men the best in romantic relationships? I would say no. I wouldn't say that the race of a woman will automatically determine whether or not she will treat you respectfully. Obviously we have examples of this.
I'm gonna stop right here. I agree with her to a point. It's not per the race of the woman, it's per the culture of the woman. It's about the culture. If you find a woman outside of the Western culture, then things will be a lot better than finding a woman in the United States or, Western Europe, with this westernized culture.
In mainstream media of Black men who dated and married out and regretted it. So No, of course, it is not the race of a woman that's going to determine whether or not she treats you with respect. But there is something to be said about the fact that there is a toxic culture that exists in America, in the West, and it especially impacts Black women.
Facts, no pencil.
We are some of the most feminist, and unfortunately, feminism right now is laced with a lot of toxicity, things that make it really hard for us to get along with our men, let alone just respect them. Something else that needs to be noted, one of the reasons I think a TikToker could create a book entitled Cooking for My Boyfriend and probably didn't receive a lot of scrutiny is because she's white. Unfortunately, if she had been a Black woman, she probably would have gotten all kinds of scrutiny from other Black women. They would have called her all kinds of pick-me's, mammies. They would have said that she's mewling. They would have said that she's disrespecting herself.
I find that very funny that other Black women would say that to Black women that are doing what should be done as a woman. But it's funny because when these women start to, let's say for example, use the word divest, that's when they're able to do this type of stuff, which I find to be very funny. You know, I even have this clip from this one woman, this divester telling, or sugar baby telling other Black women what they need to do. And the biggest thing is they said that you're gonna do what you don't do for Black men, which is pretty disturbing.
Lastly, Black women, if you want to date outside of your race, you need to be disciplined. When they say we're going to the gym at 5:30 in the morning, you better be up at 5 o'clock getting ready. They are not going to deal with the lack of discipline, and what we make Black men put up with, they are not going to go for that.
So that she's, you know, overworking herself. Even if she was a chef, they would have been saying this to her, because this thing exists, especially in Black culture, where Black women are shamed or they are ridiculed if they decide to treat their men respectfully, or they are shamed or ridiculed if they want to serve their man. Those are the kinds of mindsets that may have the lame or the good guy looking to grab his passport, or actually looking to date somebody outside of their ethnicity because they're trying to escape that kind of toxic ideal. Men who decide to go to other nations or go to other cultures to find women who are naturally more traditionally minded, I see nothing wrong with that. Women themselves who are traditionally minded or who are not in alignment with this mainstream culture.
And that's how the Blue Book Gentlemen, Passport Bros, the travelers are winning, because they're able to leave out this toxic culture and able to find a traditional woman that is on the same page as the man and will allow the man, actually will respect the man and allow him to lead the family.
Probably also won't have a problem with that. Will probably enjoy cooking, or maybe will enjoy serving their husband in whatever way that works for them. And American culture, by and large, is very toxic. And this is why I totally understand those who are looking abroad, expanding their horizons, looking at other places to understand how other cultures are living in a way that is reflective of family and unity. But those are my thoughts. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. Leave your questions, comments, concerns in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye.
So that's Shay Sade giving out her perspective on the whole passport bro situation and the corny guy topic. You know, make sure you go ahead and go check out her videos. Go ahead and subscribe to her, because she drops a lot of bangers, and I think that she has a lot of great content. But once again, like I said, this is dedicated to those, you know, basically to men who are leaving, who don't feel like they matter in the United States. And one thing I'm gonna tell you, that passport bros, yo, we winning. As long as you leave this toxic, westernized culture, your life would be a lot better. So that's my voice to the brothers that are out there that are looking for something different. You know, give it a try. At least you can say that you've done it. You had a chance to see what it's like dating women from out of the country, in other countries and so forth, and you'd be able to have a better perspective on life, and what you'd be able to see the differences and similarities between women from other cultures and United States. So I think it's worth to do that. But leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about this. Does Shay had it right, or you know, you think that she's wrong? So, well, again, this is your boy, the Solo Travel ORD. Thanks again for checking out this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'm out.